Hiya! Welcome to the Pseudo Yarn Club podcast. Welcome back if you've watched the previous handful of episodes. And hello if you are just, joining me for the first time. I'm Terry, I'm the dyer behind Fine Fish Yarns. Ta-da! Show hangover right there. And you can find me on the internet all over the show as Fine Fish Yarns. That's Instagram is where I'm most active. And there is a Ravelry group, but I'm pretty crap at keeping up to date with it. It's on my list. I talk about a list. It's like as long as my arm has nothing on it because nothing ever gets done. Anyway, yeah, so it's been quite a while since the last one. Well, for you guys, for me, I actually recorded one a couple of weeks ago, about a week before I went to Palm Fest, but I was very, very tired. And when I was going back through it to edit, I don't do any editing, I don't know what I was doing. I was pretty much like this, and yawning the whole time. So that one didn't get uploaded. Anyway, here we go again. So it's episode number something or other, 7, 8, 9. This is a very precise podcast, by the way, as you may have noticed. Anyway, I have a few finished objects, but I don't think I have them all. I know I finished Gareth's sockhead hat in the Mad Tosh plaid blanket colourway. I finished that for Father's Day. But I don't know where it is. He has it away in the car or something somewhere. You're not missing much, like stuck in a sockhead hat in colours I complained about repeatedly. So yeah, I also finished the little baby jumper. Oh, I don't know if this is, there you go. So this is knit in Olann yarn. Oh, is it Olann or is it Olann.ie? I will check after because there's a skein of it in there. I signed up to her minimal club in double knitting because I'm expecting, and I thought, well, hey, I can knit a winter baby. I can knit a baby item out of a skein of double knitting yarn. So this is the Making Tracks jumper by Dani Sunshine. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and it has not been blocked, I will say that. So it has little garter stitch diamond pattern going on, and yeah, it's a very easy, very quick knit, and I love the yarn. I won't knit it again because life's too short and there are so many patterns out there to knit the same pattern, says the girl who has knit 3 or 4 corrigans. But no, I'm not. I know that I won't knit it again, I don't think. But if I did, I would do the colour a lot less. I think this is, like, I think I'd even did it 1 row less than I was meant to. But it's just too boxy and chunky a colour for me. You know, this might be the newborn or the 1 month size or something. I think it's the smallest. And I just think they're so wee, and this colour for me is quite big, although in a lot of the project pictures it looks perfectly fine, and in some of them it looks a bit chunkier. I am going through a phase where I don't really like big colours on things. I like sort of raw edges near enough, but in saying that, that's personal preference. Also, now the pattern was really easy to follow, and it actually flew up until I got to the sleeves, when I started using the needles that I needed to finish the sleeves for something else, I think. So it sat for a little while before they were done, and then one evening I finished those off. I do find it quite a square cardigan or jumper. I couldn't find the, I'm looking around the table like it's here and I know it's not, wee envelope that I'd knit. It's all the Teague wee envelope, because I knit the same size and it was the same, the same size, the same needles, and maybe it was the same stitch count or something. And this one goes out about an inch further at the side. So the sleeves were the same length. Sleeves went the same length. It was the same length, like that way. The width. So the width of this one is about an inch more when you hold it up. So 2 inches, I guess, because you go around the other side. So I don't know how I feel about that or how it would look on, but then again it hasn't been blocked, so maybe that'll pull it down and stretches out a bit. There's no point in blocking it, I don't think, this far in advance, because I'm not due until November, so it'll just sit, and then by the time I actually get round to wearing it on her, it'll need blocked again. So nah, I'll just have a blocking party one of my hairs near the time. But anyway, I would recommend it. It's a good pattern. Sorry, I've just seen Oscar bounding across. There's an Oscar next door as well, and my Oscar is out the back, and they kind of hate each other. So when they're both out the back at the same time, it's just their Oscar's a little Yorkshire Terrier, so he's like yip, 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 yip. And my Oscar is a Harrier Beagle, and he's like woof 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 woof. That's really annoying. But anyway, making tracks, lovely pattern, really easy to follow. I would probably do less stitches on it, but I'll see after blocking. And yeah, I can't remember what the needles were. I think I probably went down a size from what the pattern says, because knitting on the round I'm tighter. Up a size from what the pattern says, because knitting on the round I knitted a tighter gauge. But the yarn is gorgeous. I really loved this first installment. Totally neutral, although it is kind of boyish to me. Not that it doesn't matter to me either way. I was practically dressed in boys' clothes when she was wee, and we're having a girl. Seems like a very, I think it's the pattern and the yarn and the shape. It just seems like a little boy's jumper, but I don't care. I like it. And there we go. So I finished that, and then I don't even know if I had this cast on in my last part. Probably didn't, you know. But you kind of feel bad because you start knitting things for the baby that isn't here, and then you're like, but I have one that is here who really appreciates knitting. So this is a sample for the few shows that I was at, but really it was it's now just gone to Ina as her cardigan, and this got a lot of love at the shows. Oh god, you know, it's not even going to sit. Anyway, there we go. This is a little cropped, like, summer cardigan, I've been calling it. It's called the Mini Landing Cardi on Ravelry, yeah. And it's a paid for pattern. This is the 40 size. My line is 2.5. And I went down from knitting flat, so cardigans and stuff. My gauge is generally seems to be pretty spot on for what the pattern is, and the pattern called for 4mm, and I didn't want to do that because this to me is a loose enough gauge. I think any bigger needle size and you could drive a horse in a cart through the stitches. So I went down to 3.75, and I knit it a little bit longer, I think, than the pattern called for. Did I? Crikey, it was so long away ago, can't remember. But it fits her lovely. It's nice and neat, so it goes up, it sits kind of just below her waist a little bit, and the sleeves come to, say, there on her, and she loves it. And it's knit in my Maven colourway on my shimmer sock base, which is merino and nylon and stellina. And yeah, it was also a really, I can't remember, there was something strange about how it was knit. Oops. What way was it knit now, so that I can, did you have to knit the sleeves first? Was it? No. Do you know what, guys? I can't remember at all. But it was a strange construction, and you ended up having to pick up it wasn't raglan increases. now it's being joined, I actually can't figure out what way it went because I just don't have the mental capacity for it. But it wasn't, there were raglan increases on one side, but here I actually had to pick up stitches to knit the fronts down, and that it kind of folds over. I know one's a wee button, but Dani can go jump. Am I going to stick a wee button on it? So it comes to points here. Sure, there's a technical term for it. But it took me quite a while to actually finish because I'm a bit naff at picking up stitches. I just kind of make a Horlicks of it. Slapdash Sally again. I'm like, that'll do. But actually, the picked up stitches and the wee line is on the outside in this cardigan. So there it is there, if you can see where I've picked up along the front. And actually, I think I did an okay job on it. I think it was my 3rd or 4th attempt, possibly. There. So it was a really interesting and lovely construction, and it's broken rib for the little band with a couple of rows, 1 or 2 rows of stockinette so that it curls back on itself. So actually it's one of the features that I really like on it, that it just seems to roll back a little bit, and it's really, really light. This, now it was the 40 size, but I did it on smaller needles, blah blah blah. It was only 78 grams in a little cardigan for her, and she'll get, I reckon she'll get quite a few months out of it actually, because it's meant to be, it's cropped, so it's not going to look really ridiculous when she grows a little bit, and the sleeves are 3/4 lengths. They're kind of between 3/4 length and short, so when they move up her arms, it'll look fine. It'll look good, like it was meant to be that way. Just keep wearing that, child. I knit it. But yeah, no, so I actually really enjoyed knitting that. It was a great pattern once I figured out the picking up of the stitches. And God, you know, I wish I could remember how that was. But it's a paid for pattern anyway, so I probably wouldn't be able to say much about it. But go and have a look, because it's a great wee pattern. And it goes up, I think it only starts at like 1 or 2, maybe it's not, there are no baby sizes in it. And I think it goes up to like 10, 12 maybe. So yeah, little mini landing cardie. Can't remember the designer. Should have looked that up, didn't. On Ravelry, paid for, lovely. And Ina loves it. And actually, I haven't knit with sparkle yarn since I knit my very first pair of socks, I think, out of LouLeigh. LouLeigh yarns. It's Vanessa in her Frankenstein colourway years ago when I first started knitting. And socks don't get a lot of daylight, so it's like, oh yeah, they're sparkly, they're nice. But when she's wearing that cardigan out, and cause it's, you know, kind of chilly in Irish summers, but not like freezing, so she has a wee dress on and she throws that on. It catches the sun and sparkles something shocking. It's amazing. It's like you are a walking glitter fairy. Love it. More sparkly things, all the sparkly things. Anyway, so I finished that. I also finished, well, I have 2 half objects. One I showed on Instagram just today, which is a sock. I actually knit a sock. This is my butterball colourway. Just like here and here. Oh, this is really difficult. Oh, and there. Butterball, and this is a sock blank in the Fort colourway, and I cast these on the night before Yarn Folk. So today is Thursday, the 11th of August. Yarn Folk was Saturday the 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Oh, do you know what? It's one of them. I'm not counting. I clearly can't count. But I thought I should have, I really have no samples. I'm terrible for actually getting samples knit, so I'm going to be putting a little request out for anyone who wants to knit me some samples. Anyway, so I cast this on and I did the cuff, and which is why the cuff was so short, because I did it the night before and was really bloody tired. I was like, okay, that'll do. But actually I quite like it because it's a short sock anyway. And then I got the yarn attached and maybe down to here knit at Yarn Folk. And then I knit this in 2 days. I finished it not yesterday, which was Wednesday, day before Tuesday. So I actually cast on and finished a sock in a couple of days. Helped along by the LouLeigh because as you may or may not know, I did Pomfest. I was over in Pomfest, and then 2 weeks later I was over at Fibre East, and then a week later it was Northern Ireland's first yarn festival, Yarn Folk. So I was very, very busy for quite a few weeks, and I'm 6 months pregnant, which is fine. And then I just crashed and died from Sunday to sort of Tuesday. I was quite run down and lurgy filled and grotty and gross, so I had a lot of downtime to knit, I guess. So I knit this on 2.25mm needles, and it is a 64 stitch sock, and I knit it on the mini circulars, which my gauge is usually much looser on because of stretching the stitches probably. But here is another. It is another sock. I don't even think I've had this one on Instagram. I did a swap with Twisted Limone, and this is her Tiny Dancer colorway. In her, the label is in another place. Her sock, a 75-25 merino nylon sock base. In Tiny Dancer, and then the heel and the little bit of the cuff is my own yarn in maybe grunge red. Names are eluding me, but it was here when I got back from Pomfest, and my yarn, I had my yarn couriered to Pomfest and then back again, but the courier didn't pick it up for 3 or 4 days, and then I was having a mild freak out because I needed all of the yarn back for going to Fibre East, and I was like, so I just cast on the sock because I'm like, what else am I going to do? So I knit this one on 2.25 as well, and it's 68 stitches, but this was magic loop, which I'm usually much tighter on knitting, but you're not going to see it with this, but actually I wonder if I take them off, would you be able to tell? Well, I realised that there are less stitches on the one that I used the mini circulars for, but only 4, but there's about 1.5 inches maybe it's difference in width. I was expecting it still to be at least the same size as this one, but it wasn't, so it's probably because it's been, it's just kind of gone the same now because it's been blocked and stretched, whereas this one has blocked out and stretched the side. This is still quite loose on the the sock blocker as it was. So yeah, strange. But I flew up that sock, and actually I show you the sock blank because I do have that sitting right here. And I only used a little bit, it was just a little sock. So here is the sock blank that I used, and here is the sock. Right, it's up. I don't really like, knitting socks with sock blanks is fine for me, but I don't like I was knitting a shawl which I frogged in one of my rainbow gradients. The wiggly yarn was driving me crazy and the uneven stitches, so I actually just had to frog it because I couldn't. And I know that when you soak them, and sorry, my dog is eating the herbs. Okay. It blocks out, it's fine, but it was just like, oh my god, I can't cope. Crazy lady. Can't really remember what else I was saying there. But that's a sample sock, and I knit this one. I actually only knit this one in a couple of days as well, because as many people have said before me, self-striping kind of knits itself. You fly through it because you want to get finished. And where is the other one of those? Oh, it's down here. Okay. Don't have much room around me, so things are kind of put everywhere. And I actually have the other one cast on and up to where I need to put the heel in. But I had to stop because I brought this one with me to Fibre East last week, the week before, to knit in the hotel and stuff. So I got to the point where I needed to put the heel in on the plane on the way home, but I couldn't put the heel in because then we were coming close to landing and I was getting terribly motion sick. So this is the yarn. Twisted Limone comes in these lovely yarn balls, and it's actually 3 different, well, you can see it quite well there, 3 different shades of pink with grey speckles in between, and I love it. I really should put the heel in that, and I would have done if I hadn't been struck by a massive case of wanting to cast on absolutely everything. And so I had told myself if I finished that blue sock I could cast on what I have cast on. I will show you, because that is all of the finished things that I have. So I'll pop this back in this bag. Oh, and also I suppose this is just like a higgledy-piggledy saying things when they pop up. I also did a swap with LouLeigh on Instagram of some yarn, and she sent me this bag. Isn't it lovely? Which is the perfect size for that ball of yarn and socks, and I have a little notions thing in there. But actually what the swap was for, she sent this as an extra. Thank you so much, that was really lovely, and obviously as you can see it is being put to very good use. It was for a needle. I have a Hiya interchangeable set, and I have been ogling Leigh's interchangeable cases for quite a while. So we did a swap, and here it is. Oh. Da 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 da! Narwhals. I think narwhals should always be said like that, you know. Yeah, I'm talking about narwhals. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so it's quite it's about that much smaller than the Hiya one, about an inch all round. It's very slim, it is very neat, it is very perfectly made. I love it. And it fits, because I find in my Hiya one, it has 2 rows of these slots for needles. But actually you can't really use the bottom row because, I don't know, it's just pulled too tight or something. So if you have any needles in the one above it, you can't really fit needles in the next one unless you have all skinny needles. Well, all my chunkier ones are in the original case. So when this one arrived and it was so like flat and neat and precise and lovely, I was kind of a bit like, oh my god, it's not going to fit the needles in. Like, no, Leigh knows better. Leigh knows better than that. It fits everything in just perfectly. These are all needles that are in use somewhere, so there's no, I have 2 sets in some of them, and there were 2 sets in that one, and there is no issue with it making anything else that little bit tighter, and they all just slot in perfectly. And then this little bit in here is where your cables go, and a nice big chunky bit of leather which just pulls through and keeps it fastened. I love it, I love it. I could wax lyrical about it all day. I really love it. Thank you so much, Leigh. It's brilliant. And she also sent a unicorn for Ina. What? Thank you for that. She loves it. She actually takes it to bed now. She goes through wee phases, but the unicorn, and unicorn I think is actually on Leigh's feed, because she posted it and I'm like, oh, that's lovely, in passing, and then it arrived. I was like, oh my god, and Ina like very much appreciated it. And yeah, so thanks for those. Higgledy-piggledy podcast. What? Stuff. Finished things, half finished things, whips. So I actually have been knitting on this, oh freak, where is it? Whoa. No, not you. Must be this one. Oh, my Reagan cardigan? Oh, don't know what this, it's just such a mess. Okay, so the last time I showed this cardigan, I was still doing the sleeves, and it was like never-ending sleeve land. And Muggins here had decided she wanted longer cuffs, because I think that in the pattern the cuffs are quite short, but I was like, oh, I like a chunky cuff. And I've had to rip out so much of this cardigan already. It's ridiculous. So you knit it, you do a provisional, it's a paid for pattern, it's Isabell Kraemer, and it's lovely. I actually really love it. But the way that it's constructed is there's a provisional cast on, and you knit across the back and down one sleeve, and then pick up the stitches here or wherever and knit down and do the second sleeve. So I knit the first sleeve all the way down the first, picked up the stitches and had knit about 5, joined in the round and had knit about 5 inches, and was just really not happy. There was a gap where I'd taken the scrap yarn out, or was it just on a cable? I can't remember. But those stitches were so loose, so when I had picked up and I'd started knitting again, it's like a really obvious baggy line, and when you looked on the reverse side at the reverse stockinette, I mean, there was a gap you could fit a car through between the two lines, if that makes sense. So after about 5 inches, I was like, I just actually can't handle this, so I ripped back. And also I think I thought that I had knit it on the mini circs, but actually I'd done magic loop, so the gauge was a wee bit off as well. Anyway, I had to rip it back, and I ripped back to a row or two before the provisional, so that I was starting off from just neat stitches and then knit back up again. This jumper, and I cast this on the 5th of September 2016 according to Ravelry. It's a long time knitting, and actually it's just, I can understand why a lot of people give up knitting when you make them knit scarves to start with, because it was so boring. There's a lot, I'll show you the back, it is a lot of stockinette. It's like 30, 40, many inches of back and forth knitting for the back, and then joining in the round and doing sleeves. Anyway, finished it. When I finished the sleeve, I thought, right, I need to pick up the stitches to do the back, and I did pick up. I didn't read the pattern. It was like, oh, I think you pick up every 2 and 3 stitches. You don't. You pick, what was it, 2 and 4? No, less than that anyway. Oh no, I thought it was 3 out of 4. It's in the pattern. So I picked up the stitches, and there were like 405 of them or something, and the lace repeat is 12 rows. And I knit those 12 rows. I was like, yeah, this is really neat, but I'm not going to be able to block the lace open at all, because it'll pull the whole top of the cardigan out of shape. And when I went through all the Ravelry notes, most people had between like 250 and 320 oddish stitches, and I was like, ooh, right. So I just ripped it out. I thought, I really like the cardigan, the finished item that I don't have yet, but everyone else's. I was like, I'm going to want to wear this, and for it not to look really shite. So I kind of cried and wept and ripped it out, and then read the pattern and picked up 105 less stitches. That's a lot less, but I kind of reasoned it out that, well, yes, I had knit like a whole pattern repeat, which is probably about 1.5 inches, but I've knit so many extra stitches per round that ripping it out, really, I was saving myself time in the long run, sort of. So anywho, this is where I'm at now. I have knit 3. I think I've knit 3 repeats of the lace. Right there. So it's a Harebell lace pattern. Oh, the colour is my own, and it's Chambord in my coarse sock colourway, or base, merino nylon, and I really love this colour. As I've mentioned before, I think Oscar's given off because he wants back in, but stuff, yeah, you can stay out there because you've had me up and down like a yo-yo all day. So I need to dye more yarn for it, which is why I haven't, because I was flying. I was like, oh, the lace is really easy. It's only like a six stitch repeat or something, and you can kind of tell, like I did go off kilter with it once or twice, but I knew only maybe about 10 stitches on that I'd gone wrong somewhere, because I was like, oh, these stitches I should be purling or whatever it was. So I just need more yarn. I need to dye more yarn. Dye lots be damned. But that's one of my whips, which I was loving on and knitting away on. And this is just such a mess. What is going on here? I don't even know what this half a scraggly ball of yarn is. Although if I was knitting this one again, I will never ever in my life knit another one of these unless I have a knitting machine. Unless I get my knitting machine set up to do the back, because that was just so destroyed. I don't think I bothered doing the provisional cast on. I just go cuff to cuff. Like, we asked, who did we ask? I don't know, I asked someone at Pomfest why is it this way? And it was something about making the stitches go the same direction or go, I can't remember. Anyway, nothing that was important enough for me to go, okay, well, yeah, and when I knit that again, never, I'll do it exactly the same way. I would do cuff to cuff, because that whole gappy stitch thing was just a right pain in the arse. And then my next whip, well, obviously I've got that sock, the other one of those socks. And the next one and final one, I think it is I'm being really quite good with, I have severe cast-onitis. I want to cast on and knit everything, but I have discovered that not doing that is how to get things finished. So because I cast off the sample sock, I really wanted to knit. I dyed Dry Grace, this one, and that's it in Sparkle, and I just fell in love with it when I dyed it, and I was like, I need a breathing space in that. But then actually I decided on Confetti instead. So I cast this on, not last night, the night before, which was Tuesday night, yeah. So I finished that sock on Tuesday, and then Tuesday morning, then I was working on I don't know, who knows, who cares? It got cast on anyway. So where's the back? Because there's like, yeah, okay. Right, so it goes this way. This is by Vera Välimäki, and it's paid for Ravelry. Oh, flippin' Nora. It's just curling so much because there's so little of it knit at the minute. But yeah. I have 2 stripes done, and I'm on to the 3rd little stripe at the top, and it's an A-line jumper, and I actually did put planning into this. I was like, well, I'm having a baby. There's no point in me knitting a jumper that isn't going to fit. And even when not even just maternity, like when the baby comes out, you still look pregnant for quite a while. So I thought A-line would be quite floaty, loose and good, and I'm knitting a size up than I usually would for a little bit of bagginess, because I don't think it will look crap if it's a baggy jumper on you, whereas, you know, if, I couldn't wear it if it was too tight, but if like after the baby, and like I can wear it, is my hope that I've knit it enough that it'll fit me. It just means I won't be able to really try it on to guess until November. It'll be fine. But yeah, A-line, so that it kind of is a bit more flattering and whatever. But yeah, so it is in Dry Grace, which is it's an orange based sort of corally neon pink, which I'm loving and totally goes with my lipstick. Yeah, it's just I don't know, it just called to me. I'm turning into like some bright coloured loving crazy person. And the little stripes are in also my yarn, Kyoto. It's a light pink with like yellowy green and pinky purple speckles and what have you. And these are both in my King 4 ply base, which is Superwash BFL, and these are mega 150 gram skeins. So I think I'm going to need to use 2 of those. Pattern doesn't actually call for as much yarn as you think it would. I think it's a slightly looser gauge, and I'll not need like even half of this one, I don't think. But I'm really loving how it's knitting up at the minute. and it's very clicky with the old needles, but I'll give you a wee. I'll try. It's so foldy. And my tea, I don't want my yarn going in it. So there's like a random shot of a bit of it. And this is a looser gauge than I would usually go for. I did go up half a needle size, so I think the pattern was 3 and 3.5, and I went up to a 3.25 and a 3.75. And I'm, yeah, well, I don't mind the gauge being a little bit looser like this is. Usually I do like it a bit tighter because I, like my pavement, which was Vera Välimäki as well. But I kind of just thought forgiving and flattering post-baby jumper that I can wear. And I'm happy enough actually with it, so I can't wait. And it is flying along because it's stripes, which is really annoying me actually. I haven't knit many stripe things where I've had, well, I did fit that pavement actually, talking nonsense. That's not even the right side, and I'm looking at it through here. Carrying the yarn up I'm not the best at, and I think I pull quite tightly, but you know, practice and perfect and all of that guff. It's not the neatest at that little bit, but if I show you from far away it doesn't matter. And I didn't do the make one left and make one right increases because I don't like them quite as much. I just did knit front and back. Personal choice. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping to get, I should dye more yarn for Reagan. I want it finished for going to Mayo in September, which is only like 5 weeks away now, 6 weeks, 5 weeks away. And then I'll probably be knitting on this one while I'm there. But I love it, and it's so bright and happy, which is just not like me at all in clothing choice. I'm like, oh, what? And that pink jumper that I knit in the year as well, what was it? Oh, that fucking terrible In Stillness one. Pink? What? Anyway, so yeah, that's my evening knitting. And they're all my knits. Now I will cast on something for Ina because she has asked. And she does love the knits, and the old guilt is setting in that I should knit things for her. So I got some yarn at, where did I get yarn? Oh, I was going to show the other two Olann clubs that came. So that was all in May, June and July. So this is June. They're her minimal one for June. It's not really, it doesn't do it for me. I don't like candy turquoise, but it's so it'll probably knit up nice. I think it's got like pink in the, it's like a candy turquoise and pinkish base, and then you know the good old speckles that we all know and love so well. So we'll see how I caked it to knit it, and I haven't got right to it yet. And then this one is the, what is the, oh, she's just Olann. Not Olann.ie, it's just Olann. This was July's, which I like more. The first one was still my favourite though, but I do love the tones and stuff in this. That's those. And put you down there. So yeah, then I went to Pomfest, didn't buy any yarn. Kind of terrified Vera Välimäki. I was like really tired and delirious. I'm like, ah, and she seems to be quite a quiet person. She was just like, this is her knitting by the way, because she was just one more knitting as she do. I walked off and I'm like, yeah, you amaze me, it's night. Crazy lady. And then yeah, so I didn't buy any yarn. I got some yarn for Kira. She once again, because at Unravel she gave me money and went, go get me some yarn, because that's no pressure. Nailed it. And then she did it again at Pomfest. So like, damn you, nailed it. And she has already knit Aura. It was Twisted Finch. Twisted Finch, I have no idea what the colourways were. I was just like, hey, they're nice. And up Kira's alley, so I got them and she loved them, and that was that. She knit them. And then I went to Fibre East, which was awesome. Here, festivals are great. I love chatting I'm like, I might have a grumpy face on me, but I'm not really grumpy. So I really love chatting to like customers and like people that you chat to online but you haven't met in real life, obviously. But then you do, and it's like, oh my god, I know like all these really weird intimate details about you, but I've never met you. It's great. So it was just a great buzz for a few days, above Confetti and Fibre East. And then in my marquee, I was in the Leicester marquee at Fibre East, and so was the Knitting Goddess. Kate and I were like, oh, the only thing I want to get is some self-striping Knitting Goddess yarn. We're so dozy. We're both so dozy. So I got this one, which is Blackened Rainbow. The colours in it are absolutely stunning, just stunning. It really, really up my alley. And Kate got another one in a greeny turquoise colour. And then we were like, oh, we'll get Kara a present just. So we got her one, and she posted it on Instagram last night. She was like, oh, my friends are so nice. We are. They got me this self-striping yarn, and Joy, who is the Knitting Goddess, she was just like, those ones aren't self-striping, we sell the self-striping in cakes. And I'm like, damn it. I failed in the one thing I wanted to do. I wanted some self-striping, and I just got some very good at it. No, don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous. I really do love it. I love the colours and stuff. I'm just like so disappointed in myself for being so cavalier. Like, yes, self-striping, woohoo, look at me. I went, more on. There you go. I have some lovely Blackened Rainbow, very cute. Anyway, and also in that marquee was, oh, excuse me. Hold on, I always say that's wrong. West Green Loft. Yeah, so those girls were lovely. It's Vicky is the dyer, and she was there with her sister, whose name totally eludes me, but they were really, really, really lovely, lovely ladies, and we chatted away to those quite a few times over the weekend. So I got some yarn. This one, which is on her superwash merino base, and the colourway is Croft, and I just thought that would make a gorgeous baby cardigan. It's kind of like a mushroomy, mauvey, taupey loveliness. My kind of baby colours. And then also I saw these and I thought they were rustly. I was thinking maybe I would do some sort of like striped yoke-y thing, but have since changed my mind, and we'll probably just knit a cardigan in this and use these for some other form of striped knit yoke-y thing. But I'm really loving like the sort of pastel, not pastel, but like muted tones in it. I love them. So they were my 3 purchases from Fibre East. That's very good. Did I buy anything else? Oh, I did. I bought like a little dinosaur pouch thing from someone else who was in the Leicester tent for Ina. You stick it in your handbag and it keeps all those little toys in one place and you can whip it out to entertain them. Yeah, the other Oscar's back out again. So I got those, and then the next week was Yarn Folk in Whitehead, Northern Ireland, which was it was amazing. It was a great success. It was buzzing. It was really, really buzzing. I just totally blown away by the amount of people that came to support it. It was just, it was an absolutely fabulous atmosphere. Brilliant. It was brilliant. So I got some yarn there. And I don't buy much yarn anymore, but it's not for the want of wanting it. That makes sense. I just am really more into like sweaters, so I'm trying to be a bit more considered. She says, anyway, about what I buy. So instead of buying a skein, I'll wait and buy 3 or 4. For all the knitting that I've been doing. So Skein Queen was there, and I went over and had a wee nosy, and I got these 3. No, not for me. Got these 3 actually, because Ina's favourite colour is blue. Ina loves blue, anything blue at all. There's a dye colours poster on the wall over there. I had given Kira Davy Jones to knit a sample for me. Where is it? Oh, this blue, this blue right here. To knit a little boxy sample, also jumper for Ina. And then I was going to knit her the cardigan, which was that one. So I brought her in and I said, what colour? She went blue, and I was like, Kira's knitting you a blue jumper. You know, pick any of these colours and I'll knit something. And she picked every single blue square on that poster before I just gave up actually and went, I'm picking for you. So I lifted 2 yarns, went, which one do you want? And she went for the Maven, which was good because I wanted that. Anyway, so I went Skein Queen and I saw this. And I was like, that's totally, like, I know we'd love it. She only had 1 left because I didn't go until later on in the day because it was really busy. It was brilliant. It was absolutely buzzing. So then I saw these 2, which are totally my jam as well, and I thought, hey, I can knit baby belly hole as Ina calls her, a little baby thing with this, and then I can knit Ina something with these 2. But then I'm like, I actually quite like the contrast of these together, so I'm going to knit Ina I've been searching for a pattern, and I just think that I am going to knit a snowflake. I think so. This would be the yoke. Let me see, yoke, and then the body, because I just look at that. I just love it. So there are my 3 Skein Queen purchases, and then I got this. Oh, yeah, I got very confused there. Bear in Sheep's Clothing is a new Northern Irish dyer as well. No, just a new Northern Irish dyer. And this is Bear BFL sock, which is 400 meters, 75% BFL, 25% nylon, and it is rose gold colorway. So I got this one. Bernie's lovely. She was beside me. Actually, I think we did a swap for these in the end. Swapsies. But I just thought that was lovely, and that would make a nice little baby. Everything that I'm one skeining for now, I'm like, hey, yo, baby stuff. Babies don't take much yarn. And even Ina in that mini landing cardigan didn't take much yarn. 78 grams. 78 grams, guys. And... oh, has he got the door open? No. The door's not locked, and Oscar can open doors, but he hasn't quite cottoned on that he can open the back door from outside as well as from inside. So yeah, I got that one. And then also Samantha from Unbelievawool was there, and she was at Fibre East, and I was chatting to her about Fibre East, but when I went up past her stall, she was just really busy in deep conversation with customers, so I moseyed on. I was like, oh, I'll see her next week. So I got this sparkly red yarn. Singles is 366 meters still, yeah, and it's 95% merino and 5% selena, and I just really like the red. Now I actually have zero idea what I will use this for because I don't really put bright colours on kids, on babies. I like muted colours. But I just couldn't not get it because look at the sparkle. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So it will get used for something. I loved it. Yeah, that is all my. I'm sitting on my printer here beside me. Yeah, that is my long and windy and waffly recap of the past couple of months, I think. Anything strange or startling? No, same old. I'm no crack, really. yeah, I have a camera. And yeah, no, that's about it. And so no more shows until after baby. Couple of shop updates. I'm kind of just winding down. I really missed spending time with Ina when I was quite busy there. And I realised that people have full-time jobs and kids, and that's as in they go out to full-time jobs and get back in the kids in the evening, but without I had wanted to be I just want to spend as much time with Ina as possible, so in general, so 2 to 3 days of childcare is kind of enough where I'm going, where's my baby? So it's kind of been nice just chilling and hanging out with her these past couple of days, and realising that she's turned into such a madam who will not let me buy things that I don't like that colour, mummy, I wouldn't wear that. You're 2.5, you'll wear whatever I tell you to wear. And then I put it back and didn't buy it because she told me she wouldn't wear it. Who's to blame? Yeah, so though hopefully it won't take me so much longer before I do another podcast, now that I have a little bit more time and I'm chilling out somewhat. And I actually think I'm going to cake up that Skein Queen yarn and cast it on for her. Although she's got a lot, because I'm thinking, God love her, she's not getting as much because the baby knits are faster, obviously. And I'll be doing a couple of those, but I haven't. I've done 2 baby knits, and Ina has had, well, that little cardigan. I'm about to cast her on a jumper. Kira knit her the boxy. She's asked me for a pair of socks when she saw me knitting from that sock blank, because it's blue, and she's like, oh, you knitting those for me? Please knit those for me. So she'll get a pair of socks. She's getting friggin' loads. Kid doesn't know she hasn't made it. Anyway, round over. Yeah, so thanks for bearing with me while I waffled away, and oh god, I am so dozy this pregnancy. It's ridiculous. I've just left my brain back in February. I don't know what's going on. It's the Irish dye monkeys. Seriously, this is ridiculous. If only I knew how to edit. It is the Irish Dye Junkies market this Saturday. It's a week later than usual because Yarn Folk was on last week. And the theme... Oh, I'm not allowed to say the theme. That's right. It has a theme and it's nice. So, yeah, you should come along to that. That'll be on Facebook at 8 o'clock on the Irish Dye Junkies page. And... oh, do you know what? I'm just going to stop because I actually can't think. I'm just waffling away here. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and knit a bit more before my child is returned to me. So, yeah, thanks for bearing with me through all of that. And yeah, hopefully it won't be quite so long until the next one. So, yeah, bye.